Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shuman, the LASTING. And as your motto goes, if it ain't fun, don't do it. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. So yesterday, I was watching one. I love watching this content that inspire me. So I was watching a content that it was a leadership seminar by TD Jakes, and he said something that's really resonate with me. He said that if somebody enters a room and they change your mood, then they are controlling you. As in, if I say I have an enemy and they enter a room and I become angry, I become mad, you know, it means that they are controlling me. I'm not responsible for how I feel or what I do. They are the one responsible, you know. That's why something like forgiveness is normally highly recommended. Why? Because forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about you. You know, when I forgive, I let go, as in there is nothing attached to it, and I just let you go. You know, you're not controlling me. But the moment somebody enters a room and I change, like it's like I'm evolving. It means this guy or this girl is controlling me, and that's very wrong. One of the things that we try to encourage, that's a society, is IQ, but we forget the EQ. You know, I do believe that one of the greatest, I don't, I don't know if it's a skill or if it's a personality, is EQ, emotional quotient. If you can control yourself, as in, if you can be happy no matter what is happening around you, then you have one of the greatest blessing ever. Because I know so many people who have the money, you know, who have the cars, who have the family, but these guys are crying at night. When they're in public, when they're on social media, they're saying how much they're happy, they're saying how much they're well off, how much they're doing. But when they are alone, when they turn off the phone, when they turn off the data, when they log out of social media, they start crying. They start feeling miserable. You know, I know people who do things just to try and cover their mind or cover what they're going through. And because they have the IQ, but the EQ they don't have. You know so many professors who have so many degrees, but some of the things that they do, you ask, is this really an intelligent person? I'd rather have the EQ than the IQ, because the EQ makes you a human. I don't know if it's a human is the best word, but it makes you a real person. As in, the EQ sets you apart. If you can control yourself, let's say for example, if you can be happy at the workplace where you are, even if other people are being promoted, even if your friends get the bonuses and all these things, and you're still happy with that, if you are just contented with everything that's around you, it doesn't matter if it's rising, if it's falling, if you can control yourself and just be neutral through all this point, then you have one of the greatest blessings ever. You know, they lied to us and they told us, you know, just get the job, get the family, you know, and you are going to be happy, and you did all that, but you're still miserable. Why? They didn't tell you about the emotional quotient. They didn't tell you that all these things revolve around your emotions. So for me, I don't care if you've got the money. I don't care if you've got the car. I don't care if you've been promoted. I'm just contented with who I am. You know, the funny thing about life, it doesn't matter what you've eaten. When you're walking along the street, nobody knows what you've eaten. You know, that's the best thing about life. But how you feel is what is everything. So why should I lie to you that I'm okay, I'm doing fine, but when I'm on bed, you know, I just cry the whole night? Why? You know, this is all about the EQ. Just do everything possible to make sure that you're responsible for your emotions. If you can control that, guys, then you're blessed. It will be even easy for you to attract anything in your life, because you know who you are. You know, and that's what, if you listen to all this religious organization, they're talking about finding yourself. Finding oneself is all about the EQ. knowing who you are, you know. It's all about the emotions. If I can know that I'm responsible for how I feel, it doesn't matter if you don't call me, it doesn't matter if I get demoted, it doesn't matter if I get involved in an accident. If I can control the way I feel, then that's everything. So always try as much as possible to fight for the EQ. Leave away the IQ. We have so many bright people, you know, who are doing dumb things. It's all about the EQ, controlling the emotions. You know, not that every time I see a woman, I'm supposed to be a rose. No, it's not supposed to be that way. Not that every time you see somebody wealthy, you're supposed to envy them. No. The EQ is everything. Is Shaman, the LESTNG, if you like, listing himself. If it ain't fun, don't do it. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. Cheers.